A monotonous electronic sound kept on repeating. The room was colored with hygienic tones, in other words, an emotionless white. It was a room at a certain university hospital. Neither her doctors nor the person herself had any doubts that this room, which had a price so high that no commoner could afford to spend a single night here, would be the last room she ever saw. Was the person on the bed Eva? Even if someone told you that was so, she was unbelievably aged and worn out. The well-built man in a suit waiting in the corner near the door was having a whispered conversation through an intercom with someone outside. He was a guard protecting Eva's person. After telling the person on the other end of the intercom to wait, he approached Eva's bed. Eva had been awake for a short while. However, she stared at a single point in empty space, as though her mind was not in the same place.
エンジェさんが下のロビーに到着しました。お通ししてよろしいですか?
For a long time, Eva didn't answer. However, bit by bit, her eyes began to regain their focus, and she gave a small nod, indicating that she didn't mind if they called Angie. It had been Eva who called her. And she was right on time. By this point, Eva would refuse anyone who wanted a meeting without an appointment. The room was dark, even though it was still light outside, because the curtains were always closed. There was always one guard waiting in the room, and 3 more waiting in the corridor and the lobby. They were all there to protect Eva's person. Eventually, there was the sound of a knock. Also, there was a message from the intercom that the guest's body check had been completed with no problems. The door was unlocked, then opened, and a high school-aged girl was standing there.
会長、エンジェさんがいらっしゃいました。
Eva reacted and turned her face towards the guest. However, instead of reacting to the guard's call, maybe it would be better to say that she reacted to the smell of Angie's makeup. After being shut up in this room for so long, Eva was sensitive to even small changes in smell.
来たわね、エンジ。
来たわ、呼ばれたから。
On Eva's face, there was no trace of a person warmly welcoming their niece. And on Angie's face, you couldn't see the expression of one pleased to meet with their aunt. Eva waved her arm, which had grown as thin as a withered branch, and motioned for the guard to leave. The guard bowed silently and went out into the hall.
暗い上に空気もひどいわ。カーテンでも開けたら？
そうすると、あんたの依頼した殺し屋が窓越しに撃ってくるって寸法なのかしら。
あんたの暗殺依頼なら、私が受けたいわ。家でのんびり、ほんの一月も過ごしてれば、勝手に任務が終わるもの。
Their discussion was quite morbid for an aunt and niece. However, they didn't look like they were joking. At the very least, Eva believed that someone was after her life. All of the Ushiromiya family's massive fortune had come into the possession of Ushiromiya Eva. It was said that this fortune also included the 10 tons of hidden gold that Ushiromiya Kintsu was rumored to have hidden. While this vast wealth lay in Eva's cunning, sly and suspicious hands, no one was able to complain. But it was rumored that as soon as it was passed on to Angie, who was no more than a young girl, certain people were plotting to snatch it away. By now, Eva and Angie were Kintsu's only descendants. If Eva died, all of the wealth would go to Angie. And if Angie were then to be killed as well, that wealth would go to the family of Angie's mother, Kiri. In this sense, not only Eva, but Angie as well, were in a position where it wouldn't be odd at all for their life to be targeted by some unknown person. And Eva had hated Angie for a long time. This was because she knew that, after losing her only precious son, George, the inheritor of her own wealth would be none other than the girl who had been absent at that family conference 12 years ago, and who had survived. Eva shunned Angie, disliked her, and even hated her. She isolated Angie in a special school and separated her from the youth and habit as normal people have, trying to keep her as a pet until death. However, Eva had succumbed to an incurable illness, and ironically, her remaining life was estimated to be the same as Kinsu's had been at that family conference 12 years ago. Both Eva and Angie hated each other. Even though they were each other's last blood relatives, they hated each other so much that they hoped the other would die quickly.
それでわざわざ呼びつけて何の用？
私はもう長くない。ヤブ医者どもは未だに私が盛られた毒が何かも検出できない。わかってるの？私は殺されるのよ。殺されるのよ。よかったわね。もうじき死ぬわよ。そうすれば、さぞやあなたの胸がすくでしょうね。
かわいそうな人。
This always happened. They immediately deviated from the main topic, distorting it into a more unsettling discussion. Eva, who was absolutely paranoid, believed that someone was always after her life. And in actual fact, after inheriting the vast wealth of the Ushiromiya family, she had used wild methods just like Kinsu had done in the past, repeatedly making money by any means necessary and creating many enemies along the way. With a massive supply of capital, she had plotted to aggressively buy businesses that were starting to have rapid growth, making them buy it back at a high price under the guise of reconciliation. Ironically, it was the same type of action that her husband's company had been hit with 12 years ago. She had repeated this constantly for 12 years. She had also earned a lot of hatred. If her husband had heard of this from beyond the grave, he might have defended her, saying that the loneliness from losing her family fueled her actions. However, of all the people who knew her now, none would defend her. For some time, Eva eloquently spoke of how her life was being targeted, listing off names of people who hated her, and sneering at the fact that she still hadn't been killed. Even though Angie heard her own name included in that list, there was no particular change in her expression, and she waited indifferently for Eva to tire herself out.
私はね、憎いのよ。
光栄ね。私もよ。
ジョージのために築いた未来だった。それをあんたにかすめ取られるなんて。ルドルフの娘に奪われるなんて。私は悔しい。子も残せず、財産すらも、それが私許せない。
だったら財産全部お布施にでもしちゃえば。お百度踏んでた宗教系の連中はどうしたのよ。
連中はみんな言うのよ。多すぎる財産が私の負担になっているって。決まって、だから預けて清める必要があるとか言い出すのよ。それで思いついたのよ。寄付はやめたわ。
For a time, Eva had searched for the founders of several strange and new religious cults, perhaps seeking peace in her heart. But they gave her heart no relief, and if anything, they ended up increasing her paranoia further.
お金が余ってるなら、サラブレッド買い占めて、コンビーフでも作れば？
それよりもっと と面白いことを思いついたのよ。いろいろ悩んだわ。どうやればあなたをひどい目に遭わせられるかをね。殺してしまおうとも思ったわ。あるいはすべての財産を消し去り、あなたを無一文にして後宮家から叩き出してやろうかとも思ったわ。素敵でしょ？お上品に育てられたご令嬢が腐ったパンや泥水を這いつくばって漁り回るのよ。あ
あ。楽しい？
楽しいわ。あなたを怯えさせるのはね。でももうじき私は死ぬわ。だから私が死んだ後もどうやってあなたを苦しませ続けるか考えたの。そうしたら案外単純なことだったわ。それをあなたに話したくて呼んだの。
そろそろ中間近いんだけど、手短にね。
あなたにすべての財産を相続することにしたわ。
へえ。
それどころか、私が死ぬ最後の一日、どこまでも財産を増やして、膨れに膨らませてあなたに相続することにしたのよ。それがどういうことか、想像がつくかしら？
わかんないわ。バカだから。
そうよね。わかんないでしょうね。楽しみにしてなさいよ。本当に楽しいわよ。お金持ちは。毎日日本中の妖怪が朝から晩まで遊びに来るわよ。あんたの私生活は、これからはすべてワイドショーと週刊誌が覗き見してくれるわ。何をしてもしなくても、マスコミは必ず私を批判する。施せばブルジョワだと叩かれ、渋れば主戦度だと罵られる。ああ、本当に素敵な毎日よ。そんな日々に、若くて先の長いあなたをぜひ招待してあげようと思いついたの。本当に素敵でしょ。
あんたのしてきたことに対する世間の正当な評価でしょ。
そうね。そうでしょうね。いいわ。好きなだけ私を罵るといいわ。そしてその評価をあなたが背負うのよ。製品が善人、金持ちは死ねというのが日本の文化。あんたはやがて何をしてもしなくても日本中から妬みと恨みの象徴に祭り上げられていく。そんな生活の中で生きていくあなたのこれからの人生は、あんたの味方は誰もいない。あんたの悩みなど誰も聞かない。あなたを罵ることは公然としたスポーツになる。そしてそれを誰も止めない。ああ、エンジェああ、本当に楽しみよ。あんたはどんな人生を送ってどう終えるのかしら。世界中の誰も信用できず、誰も愛せず、誰とも語り合えない人生をたっぷり満喫しなさい。 その苦労話を持って地獄へ落ちてくるのを
Her insane laughter turned into a painful cough. Without changing her expression in the slightest, looking completely unconcerned, Angie stared at the only survivor of Rokkenjima. Perhaps because he found the violent coughing suspicious, the guard gave a short knock on the door and rushed in at the same time. Angie glanced at him, wordlessly making it clear that she didn't intend to move a step from where she was. Angie was prepared for some kind of trap to frame her in Eva's death. However, that was fortunately a needless fear. As the guard rubbed Eva's back, he poured hot water from a thermos into a mug. As he did, Eva kept coughing, apparently in pain. Angie figured that this was probably the last she'd see of the Rokkenjima Witch's final days. Eventually, the coughing subsided and Eva regained her normal breathing. However, the glittering madness inside her eyes hadn't subsided in the slightest.
Beatrice の名を今こそあなたに譲るわ。魔女の名にふさわしい狂って歪んだ生涯を楽しみなさい。
そんなのいらないわ。それより教えて。あの日、六軒島で何があったの？事故があったなんて、私は信じない。あの日に何があったのか、父さんと母さんと兄さんがどうして死んだのか、本当のことを教えて。
ああ、それが一番の嫌がらせよね。あの日に何があったか。1986年の今日、なんて言葉を残して3人が死んだのか、知りたいわよね。おし呪われた黄金は残す。でもね、あんたが望む真相は私が地獄まで持っていくわ。それがあんたにできる一番の嫌がらせよ。悔しい？聞きたければ地獄まで行ってあんたの家族に聞いてみるといい。なら今すぐ死なないとね。今すぐへそでも噛んで死んじゃえば。
That laugh continued until she started coughing again. And that cough did not subside until she started moaning and going into convulsions.